Hi, this is Kevin Davey of KJ Trading Systems, and welcome to a 5-part video series of how to trade like a champion. Just to give you some background on myself, I've been a futures trader for about 19 years now, and for 3 years in a row, from 2005 to 2007, I came in either first or second in a real-time, real money, year-long trading contest. Each of those years I had over 100% return. So that's where the title of this video series comes from, because these are the same steps that I used to become a successful trader, and I'll show you how you can use them. Well, first, a disclaimer: you should pause and take some time to read this, because there are significant risks in trading futures, and whenever you see hypothetical results, you have to realize that they may not work in the future. And finally, all account decisions should be your own. So what are the 5 steps to trade like a champion? We'll go through each of these in this video series, but basically you have to have a written plan, you have to find a strategy, you have to check and double check what you're doing, you have to execute the strategy, and then you have to monitor and adjust. And all of these are important whether you're creating your own system or you're following an advisor. Welcome back. We're at step 5 of how to trade like a champion, and this is what I call monitor and adjust. The key questions that you're trying to answer at this point: you have a strategy that you've either purchased, developed yourself, or it's a black box or whatever. But it's key that you determine if your system's in control or not, and if your trade execution is going to plan. One of the biggest things that people do wrong here is they don't give a system a chance. And by that I mean, after 2 or 3 or 5 losses in a row, they'll abandon a system. Well, that may be correct if the system never had 5 losses in a row, but statistically, you can usually look at previous results and determine that 3 to 5 trades in a row that are losers is well within the bounds of the system, so there's no reason to quit. Here's an example of this is a monthly equity of how I did one of the previous years, where I started out an account with $15,000 on January 1st, and as you can see, as the first half of the year rolled by, it went up and then back down, and basically I was losing money after those first 6 months. And the question was, should I abandon the system? Now, to answer that, I went through some statistical analysis and looked at previous results, and I determined that what I was seeing was normal. It wasn't good, obviously, that I was losing money, but it was normal. So the system, in my mind, wasn't broken. It was just performing at a lower rate than it was used to, but it was still a good system. So I stuck with it. Well, did that work out? Well, there's the rest of the year. You can see right after that, the system took off. Again, it ended the year more than doubling the account, but it was still within the historical parameters. So even this performance, I didn't think, wow, it's doing too good. No, it was pretty much expected that it could do this. And that's the key, is if you know what your system's going to do up front, you just stick to it as long as it's meeting that. So again, how I did it: I reviewed my performance pretty regularly. I used what's called statistical process control. They use that on machines in manufacturing to determine if a process has changed or it's gone out of control. I reviewed the trade-by-trade performance. You know, maybe you find out that you get much worse fills than you expect in a certain market. Might be enough that you stop trading that market. It's just one step in the review. And the third thing you do, and that I did, was keep a trade journal, where you just record some of the things that are going on, especially if you're thinking of violating a system. That's where a trade journal helps ground you and keep you from making some bigger mistakes. Here's an example of statistical process control, where we have a long-term mean average, it's in yellow, and then you have what are called upper and lower control limits. And there's certain rules that this process has for so many points above the mean or in a row, or below the mean, or outside the limits of when you actually have to take action. So it's important, if you use this, you follow the rules, and if it says your system's going off course, this tool will tell you, and then you step in and make some changes. So how can you do this? How can you monitor and adjust? The first step is just to review your performance regularly and see if it's meeting your expectations. Does it meet your objectives? And then the second part of that is don't give up too quickly. My rule of thumb is to put at least 6 months with any new system that I trade. And anything less and maybe random fluctuations will make a system appear bad. But over 6 months, you should get a good idea if a system is working or not. So that really concludes all 5 steps on how to trade like a champion. We went through having a plan, then on to finding a strategy, and then checking and double checking everything involved with that strategy. And the 4th step was actually executing or running the strategy day to day. And the 5th step was kind of like a feedback loop where you monitor and adjust that strategy or adjust how you're trading as necessary. So how long will it take you to do these 5 steps? If you start out on your own, expect to spend 6 to 12 months of pretty rigorous research and development before you come up with something. Don't think you're going to come in a week later, find a system, or the first system you develop will work great. It just doesn't happen. And if you follow someone else who's a winning trader and trade alongside them, you might be able to do that in 0 to 3 months, depending how long it takes you to find a trader you like. And as I said before, the key is to stick with something for 6 months once you find something. And the other big question you have to ask yourself is, do you have the time and dedication to develop your own system? Maybe that's just not in your skill set, and that's fine. It's very tough to develop a system. So in that case, maybe you want to look for somebody who can help you by offering you signals or offering you advice. In that case, what you want to look for is somebody with a track record of success. So that kind of wraps up our video series. I want to thank you for watching. Please visit my website, kjtradingsystems.com, and feel free to browse around and look at the articles and some of the videos I've done. I think you'll find a lot of information. You also see information on systems that I currently trade with my own money, which you can follow along with. So maybe that might be a way for you to go. And again, thanks for watching.